What? Dustin, we are live, dude. What is up, everybody? We are live today.
Right on.
Listen, today's very special. For one, I got my good friend Dustin on here. It's been a long time coming. I can't wait. And it's the first day we're actually doing two podcasts in one day. So, yeah,
Awesome. That's
yeah,
good.
it's a special day. But anyway, dude, Dustin, what is up, my man? How you doing?
Dylan, good. How you all doing?
Oh man, we're doing good. Just been busy, the whole weekend hanging out with the family. My buddy, my son, my buddy, he actually had his buddy stay the night last night. We went to my mom's house and ate dinner and
Right on.
white bean chicken chili, which is really good. If you never had it, you guys should look up the recipe. It's super good.
I had chili last night. My mom brought over some chili, so it was good.
Oh, nice, dude. Chili is. Do you see the comments, Dustin? You should be able to see them too.
I do not.
Okay, all right. So Brian Robertson said, Dustin.
What up, Brian?
Yeah, what up, Brian? And my dude, one of my really good friends. What up, Jonathan? How you doing, Andy?
What's up, man?
Yeah, man. So yeah, it's white bean chicken chili is good, man. It's good. But listen, we're not here for that. We're here for my man Dustin today, and I'm so excited to introduce him to you guys. Some of you know him, some of you don't. So yeah, let's just get into it. Before we get into his other jobs too as well, Dustin, why don't you introduce yourself and tell everybody what you do?
All right. Dustin, obviously. I work for the Dunlop Proving Grounds mainly, and then for part time or actually full time still, I work for M4X Star Suzuki. I work with Ty Scott and as his mechanic.
That Oh, let me turn my volume down. Sorry, guys. I know you heard that, right? Yeah. Dude, that is awesome, man. So, Dustin, how did you get into motorcycles? Like, did you grow up ride motorcycles and transition to a mechanic, or how did all that play out?
Back in the day, in the '90s, I got actually started off with a cruiser bike. My cat is. Hang on, my cat is.
No, you're good.
Oh my god,
Your cat wants in on the video.
I knew it was gonna. Oh, he wants to tear this thing down so bad.
Yeah, he wants
So
in.
back in the '90s, I started riding with a couple buddies of mine. They went out and bought some cruisers. I bought one too. That became apparent that wasn't enough. So I started. I went to Power Sports in West Palm. I met a gentleman by the name of Manny Manusatakis, and he required help at the track. And ever since then, it's been a passion, because once I saw the track, that was it, saw how that played out, and I couldn't wait to be a part of more of it, And so ever since then, it's been a progressive path to the professional level, which took quite a while to get there. A lot of guys can go to MMI and AMI, and they can kind of find their way in. And me, I went the track route, and it became really big from there.
That's awesome, because I know there's a lot of people out here, if they're not listening now and they tune in later, Spotify or wherever, YouTube, however you want to listen to it, back on Facebook, man, there's a lot of people out there right now, Dustin, that would love to be in your position, right? So
right on.
What route do you think they should take to try to make it into where you are?
All depends on their ability, really, their natural ability. Some people just are drawn to it. They're called to it or just drawn to it. And then it's their drive. You got to have a high drive. You can't think you're going to come in and from a dealership or whatever. It's a totally different level. Like, there's so many different levels. But if you get your skill set at a dealership or through school, then you can bring it. I would say start at a lower level, at the club level, and then ask people there. Then you get the gist of what it takes. And some people will usually fall off from that, because even that is a lot. To do that well is a lot. It's very similar to being in the pro paddock. It's just it's not aired, so you don't have that time frame as it's very stringent on a time. So that they want the cameras to run, they want TV run. So if you're not out there, you're not out there. In the club level, you can kind of hey, I'm going to be 5 minutes late or whatever, and they kind of they'll wait for you. The professional level, they don't wait for you. You're done.
Yeah,
so,
right.
And of course, the level of speed is usually a lot faster, and the demand is extremely high on everybody. So it everybody that's on the team is at full throttle from Thursday on. So but to get into it, I'd say just start. You just got to start, right? Anything, whatever it is, you just got to start doing it. You can't think about it. You got to just start doing it. So you got to get yourself out there and just start doing it.
Yeah, man. Yeah, absolutely. No, because me and you talked about this off camera, dude. A lot of people don't realize what goes in. Just
Oh,
just at a club level, helping your buddies out, right, or just
right.
an entry level, right. It's
Even that.
hot pit, cold side, hot side, dude. You're talking about tents, chairs,
Oh man.
generators, tire warmers,
Yeah.
extension cords, toolboxes, tool cart, rims, front
Uh,
stand, rear stand. I mean,
yeah.
dude, the list goes on and on. Then you got to have all the sockets and everything ready for the front and rear tire swaps. You got to do it. I mean,
Yeah.
it's. I helped Chris Lilligard do it for a while. Man, dude, it was like, to me, I had so much fun, right? And it's long hours. A lot of people don't
Yeah.
realize that. I mean, it is
Yeah.
long hours,
Long
and
hours.
it was so much fun though. But you're right, there's a lot that goes behind that glamour that go.
Oh man.
You know what I mean? Because when
Yeah.
people outside just walking by and they're just watching, they're like, oh man, how cool would that be, right? To be
Yeah.
on there and doing, putting the tire warmers on and this and that is like. Yeah, absolutely, it would be, but
And it's not that they couldn't do it. I guess because you see it, but a lot of people have other things they're doing.
yeah,
So I would say most everybody that's in that paddock, that's their life. There isn't basketball, there isn't baseball, there isn't going out and shooting pool with your buddies. There isn't none of that. Because when you're home, you're back at the shop working on the bikes and getting those things straightened back out if you threw them down the road. And there's a lot of work. And even if you don't, you still got to service the things, and it's you tear them down all the way and you put them all back together. So it's a constant thing. It's nonstop.
it is absolutely. So why don't you do this, Dustin? Because I'm curious myself. Like, run me and everybody else through a typical race weekend with you and Tyler.
Well, Tyler usually is he like I don't deal too much with Ty. I do through Jeremy. So because I'm so busy, I can't even stop to talk to him.
Yeah,
Like
right.
he'll come by, we'll shoot the shit a little bit, but then it's right back to his bike. That's his weapon. So I'm making sure he has his weapon ready. So um, it from because I fly in. The guys that show up at the track, they show up. The truck's usually there Wednesday, then they load in on Thursday. They set everything up on Thursday, and so I get there Friday. And so when I get there, Jeremy's usually got the first set of tires already mounted, ready to go, and on the bike. So I get there. My morning that's probably the easiest morning for me because I get there. It's kind of like he's got stuff ready for me. So, and then I jump right into whatever he needs. So Jeremy says, "Hey, we need to." This track requires this shock. I need the right height for this and these springs for that. I want to use this new set of pads or whatever he requires. So Friday's a real quick setup day. Then we go into FP1 and we go into what we got because we usually have a setting prior to the race day. I usually have the bike mostly set up for that weekend. So when it arrives, I usually have that set up. But sometimes we get there and Jeremy's looked at notes and has made a change, or we're changing something. So we'll usually swap a shock or a spring or something pretty quick. Then we go through practice one. After practice one, we'll come back to the pits. Sometimes during practice, but usually we just kind of let Ty do his thing. Ty usually goes out and he just clicks off lap, and then all of a sudden, bam, he's got, like, towards the end of the session, he's got another. So then we get done. We'll come back. Jeremy goes over to data, discusses it with Ty. While that's going on, while they're talking, I'm tearing the bike down, cleaning the brakes, checking the air filter, checking the oil, checking the clutch, checking all these things, a bunch of checks you got to do. And by the time I get done with that, or in the middle of it, Jeremy because he'll notice, he'll see something where he wants a change done, and he knows I'm about to get the forks, kind of the brakes off and start checking stuff. He'll want change stuff, so he'll let me know then that I need to change the ride height on the front, and then so I'll adjust it then. But usually once I get that done, I'll go to him. I'll let him know how much fuel's been out, what the clutch gap is, and any other thing that I may see that could be a potential issue that I just tell him. And then after the conversation he's had with Ty, some of the stuff ties together or doesn't with what I've seen.
Right.
And then Jeremy will let me know the changes that need to be made, and I'll make the changes. We'll go to that would be Q1. So when we get through Q1 is pretty hectic. It's that's the time we'll be swapping to tires and checking compounds and maybe gearing. So that's really our meat and potatoes is Q1. And then we'll have a great idea, because then we have the rest of the day after Q1 to get the bike ready for Q2 in the morning on Saturday. And we'll go through a bunch of stuff. Like Jeremy will go, he'll look through the data through the night, and he'll have a setup by morning. And then we'll get the bike set up in the morning for Q2. There's a couple things that we do that I'm not going to say on here that we do because it's proprietary, but we get stuff ready for the bike, and the bike's set. Any throttle issues or any engine braking issues, Chloe, she sets all that up. She works hand in hand with both super next generation super sport guys, crew chiefs, which is Tony Pogue and Jeremy Toy. And so she works side by side and hand by hand with them guys. And then any issues with that, she'll make the adjustment, which is constant. Like that's a constant thing because every track is different. Every surface is different at each track. So they go through that stuff, and then they let me know any changes that I need to do. And while they're dealing with that, I'm getting tires swapped out and ready for Q2. So I'm taking tires down to Dunlop, getting them swapped out, coming back. And then once the bike's set up for the morning, we just put the bike away. We come in the morning. Q2 is it's interesting. Q2 is interesting. Ty can do some things, man. Like he makes me nervous sometimes because but it's methodical. He's a chess guy. Like he can really he segments the track out in his head, and he's working on one thing at a time all the way around the track, and then he ties it all together. It's insane. So like he gets right down to the last little bit. I don't like that. I want right away. I want to know it right away, and then
Right.
we can build from there. But he puts it all together, and with Jeremy, Jeremy's an ex-racer, so he gets it, so he can understand it. I think he doesn't like it a little bit either, but because obviously everybody wants it now. We want to know our fast time now. So that what else can we do to make it faster? But he gets it done every single Q2. It's like, we're sitting down here, 4th, 5th, all of a sudden, bam, here we go. P1, P1. As the next guy comes out, go back out, P1. So
he's a beast.
Pretty, he's a beast.
Yeah, he's
man.
a beast for sure.
He's a beast for sure.
He is.
Very methodical rider.
That's good.
Thinks all the time, constantly thinking, constantly attacking. So it's really good.
Yeah. So this right here is from Diane. Diane Tuberu.
Oh
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Dustin gets to be surrounded by one of my favorite teams and riders. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Dude, that's awesome. And then Michael Castro said, "What's up, Fuzzy?"
Yeah,
Fuzzy, dude. Listen, I love Fuzzy, man. He's a character,
he's awesome.
man.
He's a trip.
I've been trying to line something up with him. Maybe.
Oh, you got to get him on here. He'd be good to get on here too.
Man, I've been trying. Dude, you listen,
but he'll get on. It'll take a bit. He's probably flicking me off through the camera right now.
He's probably flicking us both off through the camera right now, right? Talking about F you guys. Yeah,
I ain't getting on there.
I ain't getting on that. Yeah, hell no. Yeah.
You spying?
Yeah, Diane said, "Are you spying?" No. Yeah, dude, that's good, man. So okay, so from there, after Q2.
So after Q2, usually we try to get it on the poles, obviously. So from there, it's when you're there, when you're on pole, for me, it's stress. It's because it's not bad. It's just you're on pole. So everybody's definitely got their eyes on it. You're under every microscope you can think of. So any little thing, can, how people are. So they just, you just kind of slough it off, but still that everybody's watching, So for him, it doesn't bother him at all. He's He's just there to win. That kid, that's all he thinks about. He doesn't give a crap about second place. Doesn't, it's great. It's good, but in his mind, it's not where he wants to be. He wants to be on the top of the podium every weekend. And it's hard when we can't get him there. And sometimes, sometimes it's him, but sometimes it's us, so it's a give and take thing.
I see him as a future champion for sure.
Oh, man.
He's an amazing talent.
Yes.
His riding style is a little bit different than most people, I would say. The way he approaches corners and the way he rides the bike is it's definitely different.
Yeah, and he's definitely stepped it up this year in the wet. Like, my God, this kid in the wet is become a force to be reckoned with. So in the wet, it's pretty good.
Look, Fuzzy says I'm spray painting outdoor furniture.
That sounds about right.
Right?
That means he's got a day off. Of course, he's going to put. There's no day off. But he's got a day off. If he's painting furniture, he's got a day off.
Right. Well, but we'll keep that a secret. Yeah. So listen, first dude, top dude. Listen, he's I just said it, dude. Ty's a beast, bro. He really is, dude.
Just a beast.
Such a humble guy too. Every time you approach him, he's just
Oh, he's a blast. I mean, he's definitely got the right attitude all the way through. There's no backing off with him. And he's definitely competitive. And if you ever want to know anything about him, just shake his hand.
Yeah. No, facts, right? So I had a chat with him in Jersey, and we actually went in the media center and to talk, to get out of the rain. And we sat in there for about 10 minutes and talked. I shook his hand. That's the first thing I said, because I got a pretty firm handshake too. And I was like, you tell a lot by somebody's handshake. Absolutely. Yeah.
He's there to dominate and win. That's it. He's there to dominate and win, which is the best attitude to have.
Hey, dude, for real. Diane says Tyler does love riding in the rain. Such an awesome kid. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely he is. Yeah. So listen, we're at Q. I mean, we're on pole position.
We're on pole position Q2. So we're going into race 1, which is that day. Which so from Q2. So now you remember he's pushed that bike as fast as it's going to go.
Right.
It'll go faster, but for that point, so he's put it to the limit. So. Now it's a mad rush. We know everything we're going to run, but it's a mad rush to go through the bike again, because you still got to go through the bike. You got to make sure the bike is where it needs to be for him. So, and there could be a change. And we've done that. Jeremy's made a change, and we got to make the change. So we only got a short window to get that change done, and there's no crying about it. You got to get it done. So you just jump right into it, start knocking it out. Hasn't been that bad. This year, really. Even last year wasn't that bad, but there's still last minute things that can jump up and bite you. So you got to just make sure you're on point as a mechanic, that you don't miss anything, because one little thing you miss, it's done. The race is over. So you can't miss anything. So to be 100%, and I don't think I'm 100% all the time, because I'm human, but to be 100% every to come there is very hard to do the checks. But you have other guys, again, there's other guys on the team that you get Tony Pogue, Jeremy Toy, and Cole, who Cole LaFlamme, who are basically the next generation super sport guys, team wise for the team. We're always checking each other. We're always making sure, hey, don't forget this. Hey, you forgot that. You might want to get that. Oh yeah. Because everybody's human. You're going to forget. Yeah. So I'm looking at their bikes as much as they're looking at my bike, and we're constantly checking each other. And that becomes nerve-wracking, because your brain just doesn't stop. Did I get this? Did I get that? Did I get this? Da, 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 da. So you end up causing anxiety on yourself, because you're constantly thinking, Right. But once he's out there, and once he goes around and he does his first warm-up laps, he puts the bike through enough to where he'll know if there's an issue, and as long as he doesn't look over, I'm good. So as long as he doesn't give the look over and give a shake, and then I'm like, okay, this bike's solid. This is gonna be a good race. So. And it's been that way all year long. So even last year, it was that way. So, and sometimes I think he just checks to make sure his own safety stuff is good, and he just puts his head down and goes. So even if he ride through most issues, It's not like, oh, my handlebar was this far off and that's why I lost my race. You'll never see him do that. He's never done anything like that. If he didn't win, he usually puts it on himself, and I could have done better, or that was that. He won't. We've had issues, like we had a clutch go at Atlanta. No one ever knew it. He never said it, never put it out there that we did. But that's the type of guy he is. He knows that things happen, and he's not gonna oh, that's why, oh, let's see that. He doesn't do that crap. So it's which is 100%.
That speaks volumes on the character he really is.
Oh man,
100%.
Big time.
Yeah.
Big time. Yeah, he knows the whole deal. Like he's seen it enough to know, and he just locks it in and goes. So after we get the window done, then we start race one. I don't watch the races. You'll never see me sit at a screen and watch. I won't. I sit out on the wall. It's too much for me to watch, because I got so much invested of myself. He's riding an extension of me,
right.
So I've got that. It's I just got to leave it up to him. I can't sit and wait and I see something happen, somebody cuts him off or somebody will do it. It drives me nuts. I'm like, because I look at it as he's not my son or my kid, but I treat it as though he is. So it gets the mentality that I have towards it. So when I see something like that takes place, the first thing I want to do is take care of that situation, and I can't. So so I'll yell at the TV or I'll get mad. So I just sit off to the side, or I'll sit out the pit wall. As long as there's an issue, just tell me right side, left side. I built a crash box to where it's really easy for me to get things kind of going. And of course the other two guys, they'll jump in. Everybody jumps in. So, and the bike's back together. But this year he didn't throw the bike down at all. Bike never.
No, he didn't. Yeah, you're right. He didn't.
We used the same bodywork from Daytona all year long.
Nice, dude. That's awesome, man.
I don't know if that's a record for Team Hammer or not, but I would say that it's pretty dang close.
Yeah, that's pretty good, man. Yeah,
pretty good, man. So
damn, that's good.
It's really good.
Big shout out to my man Jackson Blackman. What is up, my man? I hope everything you're healing up quick, bro.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. Keith Perry is the king of cruise. There's no two ways about it. That man has seen everything, and he knows how to take care of just about everything that comes down the pipe. So usually it's it'll be just fine.
Right.
So right. Yeah, but KP knows his stuff big time.
Diane said, yes, that is a record. Oh, that's good.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah.
So after the race, he goes out.
Yep, goes out. Usually gets on the box. If not, I don't have them all logged in my head, which ones we did or did not, and the reasons behind them. I think if we started talking about them, I would know them, but I don't log them. I don't keep a record of wrongs or anything like that, or I just move on. Just okay, and now we just got to go to the next. Well, that didn't work out for race one. We're going to get it good for race two. So I think the trend has been, we get so close in race one that we do get on the box in race two. So usually. So, but after that, if the bike is good or any issues that he finds in race one, we've had that happen. Spring change, small adjustments, nothing major. We don't do any big chassis adjustments that are huge. There's no major changes because Jeremy's got it pretty good. Like he studies that data really well and knocks it out. Like, if it was a dartboard, I would say he would be hitting the not the bullseye, but the ring around the bullseye. He hits that 99% of the time. Oh yeah, he's on it. So, and
dude, he's a good guy too, man. He's been racing for a long time and got a lot of knowledge, man. So he's a good guy to have on the crew for sure.
Yeah, got to have that guy. So for sure. And I think the crew we got all around throughout the whole team is a bunch of great. These guys they're passionate. It's 100% passion. If you see anybody on the M4 team, they're there because it's passion. It's not for money. It's not for we make some money, but it's not for that. It's because everybody there is driven by passion, and it's they want to be there, and because you got there's so much other stuff to do in this world. The amount of work it takes to do it, you would think we're all nuts. We're all crazy. because
Right.
it's a lot of work. So I would say the amount of work that we do is what most people do in their normal work month, we do in 4 days, 4 or 5 days.
Facts. That's a
Yeah,
fact.
yeah. So it's a lot of physical work. It's a lot of mental work. Stress and strain on a lot of stuff. Like Chris, he goes through so much. I don't know how he wears so many hats. I
Oh, I
mean,
know.
he is so on it. And it's hard. To keep. You can't keep everybody happy. It's impossible.
No, you can't.
But he's got it. He's got it figured out pretty good where he knows. What he has to attack and what he doesn't. What he can just. I'll wait for that to deal with that later.
Yeah.
We got bigger fish to fry here. So Chris is on it. His dad, John, man, they've been around for so long. But John's a trip, man. If you ever get
John's
a chance
awesome.
to talk to him, just shoot the shit with him.
I
He
will.
tells you some stories, and it's like, oh my god, I remember seeing that, or I remember hearing about that.
Yeah, yeah. I will, dude. So I've been a big, we talked about this before we come on here, man. I've been a big fan of Chris Ulrich and his dad, John. Dude, longtime subscriber to Road Racing World Magazine. It's one of the best out there for sure. Yeah, man. They run a one of the best teams in Moto America, right? Top level for sure. You tell everybody, works as a true team, right? Like the Doors, right? Everybody's together, just doing their thing, whistling, having a good time, just doing what you love to do, man. And that means everything, man.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, everybody has their arguments. I mean, there are times in the paddock, in the pits and stuff, we're at each other, but it's never like a fight thing. It's always just it's always a we're trying to figure something out. We're trying to fix something or do something the right way. And you get more than two people involved, you're gonna have this way, oh not this way, or not that way. But you just kind of just go with it, and it all smooths out in the end.
It does, because not everybody.
What's up, Harvey?
Agrees. Yeah, Harvey.
He's a Savannah guy. Before I started with KWS, I moved to Statesboro, Georgia, and that's where I met Harvey. Was in Savannah. I worked at a bike shop, Superbike Specialties in Savannah, is where it was. Adam Gotti owned that. His name is Adam Gotti. I think he's still in business down there. Yep, and that's where I met Harvey.
Nice. Well, what's up, Harvey? Thank you for watching, man. That's awesome. Of course, Diane again says you can tell the team is gelling and everything is going well, and Chris is smiling. Yeah.
Oh yeah. If you see Chris smiling, man, that's the best time to talk to him about anything.
Right. Yeah. You're right. He's an awesome person, man. I recommend if anybody sees him in the pit, stop and say hi. He'll say hi for sure. So yeah, man. So anyway, back to the weekend of racing.
Right, so we're at race one.
Race one.
Hang on a second, let me take care of my dad.
No, you're good, bro. You're good. But yeah, guys, how awesome is
this? Right here in the
have
kitchen?
Dustin on.
No, it should be fine.
It's awesome to see.
You're just gonna cut straight out the block.
Perspective of a
that's perfect.
A mechanic on a team.
Right on.
Awesome.
Yep, thank you. Construction continues.
Right, and we're off. Right,
and we're off. Yeah. So race one. After race one, we're going back through the bike. Like I said, we have if there's any big changes or not. We get the bike situated for the practice in the morning. If he does make a change, that's where we're going to check it. So it's imperative that we're on point with everything that Jeremy's set up through Ty. They work together to get things going, and then we get out there, we check it. If it works, great. If not, we just go back to what we had with a different way. And then after that, we just go right into race two and attack. Because usually by then it's we figured out everything, and now we're just waiting to just throw it at everybody. It's like, here we come, because it's coming.
We're coming.
Good luck, everybody else.
That's it, right? Good luck, fellas. Yeah. So listen, this guy right here. I do too. Jonathan Fung. What is up, my man?
Yeah. Oh yeah. He's he works with Ben and it is loud. I didn't think it was gonna be that loud.
Nah, it's okay, man. It's okay. But yeah, dude, he's cool. I'm actually looking forward to having a chat with Jonathan.
Yeah, he'd be good on here
soon,
too,
for sure.
Yeah.
He's
John would be good.
Yeah, he's been a big supporter too, man. And Jonathan, thank you so much, man. It means a lot. It really does, dude. Absolutely. Look, he said LOL. He's like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, okay. You can get on here, Johnny. You'll be good.
Yeah,
You'll be
yeah.
all right, man.
Yeah, we're good. We're good. So, but
Yeah.
yeah. So anyway, Tyler Scott up on the grid, race one, get ready
Right.
to eat, right? Pin to
Right.
gas, gonna win.
Right. Big time.
Yeah, everybody else got to play catch up.
Big time. Yep. Good
So
luck.
what's it like, dude, working on the GSXR 750? Because it's a marvelous bike. You know, it's a bike that I wish they would bring the 750 class back, man. It was such great racing. Yes. It's almost the perfect motorcycle. It's light as a 600.
Absolutely.
Yeah, don't have as much power as a 1000. Don't require all this electronics. It's old proper school way of racing, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, the old 750 class. Yeah. This one there's a lot of electronics involved.
I'm sure.
In the next generation Super Sport, there's a lot of electronics going on. You know, there's throttle restrictions and they're just trying to even the playing field as best they could.
Right.
And, you know, it's a learning process for Moto America as much as it is for us, you know, so it could get frustrating at times. I get frustrated a lot just looking at it, you know, just like, oh man, you know, whatever, we're still going to win somehow.
That's it.
You know, we'll figure it out on the back end, you know? So, but yeah, I wish they would have kept that 750 class. It was good, which is what, you know, it really pushed me to buy that bike back in 2000, 2001. And ever since then, that's the only Suzuki that I'll buy. Now I had a 1000 for the street stuff. You know, it's kind of like buying a Hellcat. You know?
But bro, that's a proper weapon. Dude, my buddy had one, right? He's like, Simcoe, take it down the street, right? So I get on this thing and I put it in third gear, dude. It was like 4,000 and just wicked, bro. I come back, I was like, what the fuck, dude? Like this thing right here is, bro, it is a proper, that GSXR 1000 is no joke. It's no really joke. Not. No, so this right here, Dustin's a good mate of mine, Peter Marsh, man. Nothing but love. Peter Marsh, his son Jake Marsh. Big shout out, man. Jake Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah,
love you, mate. Dude, I love these guys so much. But he says, love the 750. Had a K5 and the L4, would love to try a new one. Me too, Peter, man. I would love to get on a new Gixxer, man. The problem, you know, I don't know how it is over there in the UK, bro, but here, man, superbikes are not selling. I mean, they're just not. People are buying, you know, cruisers and enduros and, you know,
the adventure bikes is what's really the thing now.
It is. It's like I was telling Dustin, we had this conversation, man. You go to our local dealership. Well, we got two. One of them is dirt bikes, side by sides, Honda Groms, but they do have that cool ass Husqvarna 401.
Yes,
dude, that's a cool little bike, man.
I like the 701. I like the 701.
Me too. So my buddy had one of those, a Supermoto. I rode it, and that thing's a proper go to jail real quick.
Yeah, big time. Yeah, the 401 would be a pretty good a decent sized go-kart track type motard bike, you know.
It would, but if you're gonna go motard, man, you got which brings me to the question real quick, man. That new Ducati, what do you think about that one?
I saw a video of that the other day,
bro.
I just now seen it. So the one where they were on the stage, they sprayed it with champagne. I was kind of like, oh, why did you do that?
Right,
that's the thing they do over there.
I guess. Yeah, man, that thing's going to be a proper weapon. So back in the day, Dustin, I had I had an Aprilia SXV 550, the V twin Supermoto. Man, that thing was, I mean, it was awesome, but it was such high maintenance that I was working on it more than I was riding it. Right, so I was like. And it's kind of a rich man toy because it costs a lot of money for the parts, and you know it takes a lot of time. Like just to do a valve adjustment
doesn't cost a lot of money.
Facts, right? But to do a valve adjustment, you had to physically pull the motor, right? And it's just like there's just exactly right. Not fun, right? It is, but after like the sixth time doing it, you're like, you know what? Right. Yeah, I think I'm gonna let somebody else enjoy this beauty right here.
But like the old what was it, Kawasaki ZX12? I think it was ZX12. You have to drop the motor down to change the plugs. That means the exhaust is going to come off, the radiators come out of the way. You got to just to change the plug.
What a pain in the ass, right? And they wonder why it costs so much money when you take it to a dealership to get them worked on. They don't understand what it involves to, you know, actually service a bike, man. I mean, some of them are easy, you know that, right? Some of them are easy, but there's others. They're not so easy, right? So Peter says the sit-up road bikes are so good now, and with more comfortable riding position, think that's the why sport bikes are selling. No, and you're right, dude.
Yep,
You know what?
that's true.
I always
Yep,
I wanted an Aprilia Tuono. I
yep,
would love to jump on a V4 Aprilia Tuono and just smile from ear to ear and be like, "Yeah, baby," right?
yeah,
Um, yeah, it's the way to go because you're not hunched over, your back don't hurt. You can actually
yeah,
cruise on it and go some distance without, yeah, your legs going numb and
right.
teeth clattering and yeah, all that good stuff that goes along with it, right? Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
man.
man. So listen, we're on the grid. Tyler Scott
Yep,
done one race one. You guys
race
come
one.
in, the bike comes in. So after listen, once the bike comes off the grid,
Yep,
right, goes up to the podium. We see you up there with the bike, whatever, front stand,
right,
rear stand.
right.
After they do their little speech ceremonies, what takes place after that?
So normally they go to park for me. I've been leaving that out because it's just to me that's just a known thing.
Right.
To me it's just known. So after qualify Q1 you go to park for May. After Q2 you go to park for May. After race one you go to park for May. After race two you go to park for May. And then they go through their spiel, whatever they want to look at, they can look at. They didn't do too much this year. Last year we were a lot of air boxes off and a lot of checks and things. We had our motor sealed last year. I think a lot of guys did. I think last year, towards the end of the year, we had, you know, 5 or 6 guys on the grid, front row guys had their motors sealed. So at the end of the year, last year at Barber, we had to pull our motor, and KP had to take it down and tear it down, and so they can see the things that they want. I don't even know what they looked at, but I knew the bike was completely stock. I mean, it's just taken apart and put back together to let it know that everything is good. That's all the motor was, is just taken apart and put it right back together. Um, so after the park for May, it goes right back to our pits, and then we start doing our adjustments or our checks and things that we need to get done. So after race one, that's what we do. Again, we do that. Usually after, like on the podium, it goes straight to park for May. So we're after the podium, like you were asking, goes right to park for May, and then we wait, till 3/4 of the race prior or after our race. There's another one that starts. So the way the park for May works is they'll do one ours, and then they'll wait 3/4 of the way through the next race, and then they'll release us so they can fill the park for May back up with the next set of riders and bikes, whatever class that usually is. Which is usually super bike, I think, after us normally.
Yeah.
So, and as long as everything's clear, we just go back and swap everything out, clean everything. Everything's clean. Like we just clean everything. Everything gets cleaned. That's the biggest thing, is cleaning everything.
Yeah.
And you have to get into everything. So we pull all the calipers, get cleaned, all of the pucks and everything. The brake pads are measured to make sure we don't have any warping going on or nothing's wearing funny. And if they do, we just flip them so they all wear evenly, and it's
right.
not a big deal. I think that one of the biggest improvements this year, I think Ty was impressed with the brake system this year, of how everything worked out. We use Gale Speed and Van Hill lines, and which has been an improvement. We have quick disconnect stuff, which is cool. So if there's an issue, we could swap things out.
That makes it easy too, right? Because you're not
Yeah.
bleeding the brakes and all that bullshit. You just
It's boom, done.
boom,
Yeah,
done.
it's quick.
On.
So, and in the crash kits, everything's set up that way. So we bleed everything out, and it's put into the crash kit waiting. So if he has a bad master, I can it's off and on.
Yep,
Here we go.
no problem.
You're right back out there. No, very, very limited amount of time wasted. So, which is the biggest thing, Time is, you can't ever get that back. So,
ain't that the truth, man?
Yeah.
Ain't that the
So
truth?
everything's about time and timing. So,
and everybody, that's everything in life. I don't care what
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
don't matter. Yeah, it is. But yeah, so let me ask you this, man. How often do you change the oil in that bike? Like after every race, like race one's done, do you
Yes.
change the oil?
No,
Or
after
you
every
just
weekend.
check it. Okay,
Every weekend. Yeah, we check it and make sure that we check the clutches. So we check gaps and things like that inside the suitor clutch and stuff. So it's that stuff is constant.
Yeah, constant checks. You're taking it out. Yeah.
Checks. Yeah.
And
But after every weekend, we change the oil out after every weekend. The X-Star oil is pretty good.
Yeah, it is, right? No, it
Yeah,
is absolutely. So,
yeah,
people watching that, so that's actually a wet clutch. It's not a dry clutch. And
correct. Yep.
so, when you check the pack on it, do you do it like on a normal street bike, the steels and the fibers, and you check the whole thing, or is it
No, the way the suitor clutch is set up, I actually have the it's on my phone because
nice?
you kind of get you get so much going on. But you're just checking the backside gap. You can have some of the clutches, if you looked at them, you would think that they were bad, but they're not. You know, because oh
Yeah,
my god, everything's black, and it's like it doesn't mean that the clutch is bad, just they got hot. You know,
right.
so it's when they glaze over and they get, it's kind of like brake pads. When you have a brake pad that gets glazed, right? The only way to fix that is either to put it on a surface to sand that portion off
Yeah.
and do it again and put it back on your bike, which is not recommended. But if you had to on the side of the road and you
You
got no
get you
brakes,
home, right?
you
Yeah,
just do whatever you got to do to be. But anyway, you put on a new set of pads. The same thing for the clutches. You got to put in new clutches.
yeah.
So we're just checking the gap because when he starts, he'll wear the clutch down. Well, the gap is for his engine braking, how it releases and how that allows the tire to
Right.
rotate under his clutch release.
Yeah.
So he doesn't have to feather the clutch. He can kind of just release it and let it do its thing, and then he can kind of get the bike to pivot where he needs to turn it. There's a lot of that stuff that people don't realize that goes on a bike that these riders do.
Yeah.
It's amazing how precise they can be. That you would think there's no
The
way,
way
and
there's no
man,
way. Yeah,
you
dude. Same thing with a slipper clutch, right, Dustin? Because you
right,
could
the same.
set it
That's
up
exactly right.
for a
Yep,
certain amount of slip, right?
correct. Yep.
Depending on where you
Certain
want it at.
springs, certain right, you certain
Right.
grip. Yeah, you can create. We can create a lockdown clutch. I mean, you can put it heavy springs in and heavy release springs in, and to make it lock up to where it's just
Right.
constantly biting. But you do want that. You do want that kind of like a back drag, I guess you can call it, but just a wheel rotation to continue to rotate as he's coming into the corner, and then he can control that. You know, when he releases. So, which is neat.
It is. So again, my mate Peter, he says, do any of you guys use DP brake pads out there? I know they are bigger in the States than over here, but we love them.
Yeah, I believe so. There are a couple guys that I don't know about the bigger teams, but definitely I've seen some guys in the club, the Weir Paddock, that they use DP. They swear by them.
Yeah.
I've never used them as a mechanic. We've always used either EBCs, Vesras, Brembos. I think that's about it that I've really used. I've used DPs for work. You know, we have some of those at work. You know, but again, that's a different aspect. You know, for mileage guys or for stuff. But for testing for the proving grounds, we use Vesras is what we use, the Triple X pads. For Taylor, he likes to use those.
Taylor, big shout out to Taylor Knapp,
Oh
man.
yeah, Taylor
Yeah,
Knapp.
dude.
He's another one that's the same way. You know, he's got the same similar mentality as Ty. You know, it's a different era, but it's still there. They all have it. You know,
They
all
do.
those guys, they all got it. They're all basically the same. Just some of them see a gap different than others. And so what's interesting is when you get to that level, you can see, and even they do when they're on the bikes riding against somebody, they can see their weaknesses, right? So they follow each other, and then they can see the weaknesses of the person in front of them, so they know when to attack or where to attack. So they all have it, but some guys just have that, you know, couple ticks more than the other guys, and to be surprised how big those ticks are at a lower level. Like, so,
Right.
you know, you go to club races and you work with those guys, and then you just go and do this a little bit more. Than they give you this look like, what? You got to do what? I'm like, oh, okay. Well, you got to start. I guess we got to start back here at 5 instead of 1. So we're going to start back here, and then we'll bring you into those, you know. But the little clicks that they have in their heads and just their mentality of stuff, it's amazing that how finite those things can be. But as a normal person that doesn't ride much, you would see it. You'd be like, "There's no way I would do that." You know,
Yeah.
get there and put the tire where, and get the bike to where, get it hit the apex here. I can't do that. You know, I can't do that. And these guys, you just go out and do it, and then they
Yeah.
do it, and you're like, man, to see where they can hit a late apex if they want to, or an early one, and still come out on top. Man, they can make it work. These guys are obviously they've been doing it most of their lives, so they should be able to do it. But
It's amazing.
yeah.
It really is. It's
Yeah.
I love watching people ride. It's the fast guys. It's like holy shit. It's like listen, dude. Like well, I went to Cadwell, right? So everybody knows. But I'm gonna tell you, when you're out there watching the super stock guys,
Yeah.
right? You can sit there, on your watch or your phone and time them, right? And then the super
Yeah.
bike guys come out. There's a whole new level with the super bike guys coming out there at Caldwell versus
Yeah.
versus the super stock guys. It was
Yeah.
proper, man,
Yeah.
as my mates say, right? It's awesome, man. But
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
man, dude, that's awesome, man. So
Yeah. Big
there's
time.
yeah, man, that's good stuff. So after race 2,
And it's pack up.
it's pack up time,
It's
right? That's
packing up,
it.
man.
Throw it in the
Because
truck, we'll
once
deal
race
with it.
two's done, I'm not worried about the bike. I'll deal with that at the shop, unless, of course, well, it depends. So if the truck is coming back to the shop, just pack everything up. But if it's staying, then we got to prep for that. So we would have to get the bike situated for the next weekend. So Jeremy's usually like right after race 2, he's usually in it on his computer checking to see if what he wants done with the bike for the next track if the truck is staying away from us. This year was pretty intense because we did Loudon and the truck was gone for 3 rounds. So it was like, a lot of stuff we had to do at the track,
Yeah.
which Cole took care of most of that. Cole LaFlamme took care of those portions because they get there Thursday. So they'd have time to go through the bikes. So Cole would take care of my mess on Thursday, along with his mess on
Thank you,
Thursday.
Cole.
Yes, big time. He did double duty. He's always doing double duty. Well, him and Tony Pogue. So I think what would happen was Cole would take care of mine, and Tony would actually take care of Teague's bike for that situation. Man, because Teague's same situation as Ty, right? So again, right back into setting the bike back up for the next weekend. If it comes back to the shop, then we get a lot more done then.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of tear downs. So swing arms are out, the steering heads are apart. You get all this. It's all the way down to just a motor and a frame. And
Swing
then
arm
it's right
bearings
back
get
to,
replaced, all that
yeah,
wheel bearings, the whole
all
nine.
sorts of
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah,
Steering
it's not.
stem, the whole nine.
Yeah,
Yeah. A lot of people
it's
don't
it's a
realize it's a full build.
full build.
Yep,
Yeah,
full blown
big time.
rebuild. It is.
Yeah.
So listen, tell everybody else what you do. Dunlop Proving Ground, right? So
Dunlop Proving Grounds. So my main job is I'm a senior technician for the Dunlop Proving Grounds. So
what a
there, it's just
job.
main thing. Yeah, it's basically racing again every day.
Yeah,
It's
it's
just,
awesome. I love
if
it.
it's like racing every single day. So you have this. Okay, I got these amount of tests to do. You gotta pretty much set it up days before, so you're kind of like getting everything set up. So, and it's a constant flow because there's so many tests that we got to do, and it varies from all the way from small dirt bikes all the way up to huge cruisers, Harley Davidsons, baggers. I mean, the whole wide range of everything. And sometimes we get stuff even from Polaris. We've worked on their slingshots and stuff. They've come over and done
Nice.
tests with those. So it's, we've done so much stuff at that place. It's insane. And it's one of the best places to train at for wet weather riding. But and those are hard to. That's my cousin.
Hello.
Hey, Leah. Yes, I do. It's big time.
Yeah.
So we do all those tests, and their tires are developed primarily at that facility. So all the Q from Q1 all the way to Q5, they've all been developed there at the proving grounds. That's where we test and prove everything out. Now we also have CAR, which we have Falcon tires, Sumitomo Rubbers, who's our main company now. So that it's a big old blanket. So we got Sumitomo tires, we got Falcon tires, and then sometimes we've done some Dunlop stuff back, but not too much of that. But because it's I think Dunlop brand is still kind of owned by Goodyear a little bit. I think there's something in there, but mostly Falcon tires. So all the Wild Peak ATs and MTs and HTs, it's all done through there. So we do all the wet braking, wet handling, stability. We do some like 610s, 510, 610 stuff that are like autocross tires. They do there for car, and for motorcycle we do the motard bikes. We do all the supercross testing there. And then we're currently going through some race stuff, developing some more race stuff there. So things are coming through there that people just don't realize. It's funny because I've been here for 18 years, And every once in a while I'll have a conversation with somebody and they'll be like, that, yep, there's a track here. It's been here since 1986, I think it's been here. So, and people have been living there their whole lives and never knew that place is there. So it's a well hidden, backwoods kind of way, but it's not. It's actually in the middle of, it's right next to the airport. So it is out in the open and right there. So, and it's a great place to be, great place to work.
Is that where I seen the helicopter?
That's where you saw the helicopter.
Dude, that was badass. I was like, hell yeah, dude.
So right next door is Science Engineering Services, and they service all the Apaches and Blackhawks and the Chinooks that you saw. That's the Chinook that you saw, and they fly them in right next to the track. So you go from helicopters landing to motorcycles testing. It's pretty wild.
That's awesome, man. Yeah. That's good stuff. So, dude, you having amazing jobs, dude. Two jobs, bro. It's
2 full-time jobs. They are full-time.
It is, but listen. I want everybody to know, man, what Dustin does for our sport, dude. We need people like him. It's super, super important. Yes. Without Dustin and his whole crew and everybody else's crew, right, the riders wouldn't be where they were, no matter how good they are. It's like the old saying, right? It takes a village to raise a child. It takes a village to raise a racer, right? And and it set it up. It's a lot to it. Brian says he is damn good at it. Yes, he is, Brian.
Well, he is too. He's really good at it too.
Yeah. That's good.
I kind of wish he'd have stayed. Well, he did good. He chose right. I wish he would have stayed for my own personal, because I wanted him to grow. I wanted him to. I could see him as a really good crew chief, So I think that he needs to come back. He just needs to come back. And he's
not in the paddock no more.
No, I don't know if he is or not. He was. He did the. I already forget the name of it. He's gonna laugh at me because I forgot. The Royal Enfield. He did all the. He was the main.
Nice.
He was main mechanic in the Royal Enfield. So he was giving those girls training classes. He taught those girls how to basically rebuild that bike. So
that is awesome.
Very knowledgeable.
I would love to talk to you, Brian.
Yes. Yeah,
reach
Brian
out to me. Send me a message on Facebook Messenger, and we'll definitely sort it out 110%.
Yeah, he'd be good. And I think he just bought a new building, got his shop up and going. He's already been around, but I think he's improved on it. So now he's got a really good investor, and his investor is an awesome man. I will say that. And he chose well with Brian, so his business is gonna flourish down there. He's gonna grow. His place is gonna grow. Before you know it, he'll have race teams coming out of his place too. So it's gonna be pretty epic for him when it finally hits. So yeah, it's gonna be good.
Looking forward to it. Yeah, absolutely looking forward to it, dude. That's awesome, man. Dude, I don't want to say that I'm envious, man, but I am, because you got such a life, bro. It
took a lot to get here. There's a lot of work. I mean, it looks glamorous. It really does. But if yes, he is big time. That's my uncle. My uncle passed away a couple years ago.
Oh,
so
I'm sorry to hear that.
It's all right. Yeah, Daytona. It'll be fun. Daytona's going to be something this year, man. Woo.
I know. I can't wait. Brian, holla at me. Don't forget. But yes, I can't wait, bro. How excited are you to go to Daytona?
Oh man, it's going to be. I mean, our bikes are going to be here pretty soon. I wish we'd have had them sooner, but we're getting a little bit late. But that's okay. We've got such a program now. Cole and Tony have got a lot of the stuff set up now to where, it just, we get all the parts segmented out and set up to where all we do is just put it on the bike. And once we get the bikes in, we just tear them down. And they've already been working on subframes and calipers and setups and quick change stuff and figuring all that out, that when I get there, all I'm doing is throwing it on really now, or just picking up where they left off. Hey, I need 10 more of these just like this. Oh, okay.
Right. Okay. Gotcha.
So it's a lot. Yeah. So, but yeah, Daytona is going to be, it's going to be interesting. I don't know exactly who our riders are going to be as far as for that. That's a Chris question above my pay grade. So.
Right. But I say that at work too. That's above my pay grade.
Above my pay grade. So I know I'll be ready. I know Ty will be ready. I know Jeremy will be ready. and I know the guys here at the shop we're already chomping a bit ready.
Oh,
So
I bet.
it's gonna be good.
Awesome.
I think this year is gonna be a really good year for M4. Like I do.
Yeah.
It's gonna be it's going to be epic. Another epic year. Another record breaking year. I'm hoping.
I'm
Across
looking
the
forward
board.
to it. Yeah, I'm sure everybody is too, man. So,
Yeah.
dude, how cool is it to work with that quick change setup shit, right? So much easier than just your
Oh,
normal standard setup, right? You're like, why can't
oh
it be
yeah,
like this all the time, right?
all the time. Right. It'd
But
be
it's
nice. I
such an
wish I could set them
expensive
up all
thing
the
to
bikes all
add.
that way.
It is, but
Yes. Yeah.
it's expensive kit, the front, the rear.
Yeah.
It's
There's a lot of development that goes into that. So when people look at it, they look at it. Man, I ain't spending that much for that. And it was like, well, then you don't want to win,
facts.
because if you want to win, you're going to have that stuff, So,
It's one I lost in the pits.
yeah, big time. Yeah, unless your rider can really get out there and get going, and
Right.
then it's a breeze. That's one thing I like about Ty. When he gets out and gets going, it's just a breeze. It's just do it again next weekend. Do it again, man.
Makes it easy, man, which
It
is
does.
it's good for everybody, right?
Yes. Yes.
Um,
Yes.
yeah, absolutely. So, listen, Dustin, let's just get away from racing, man. Let's talk what
All right.
Dustin likes to do on his downtime. And we all know Dustin don't have a whole lot of downtime,
No
right?
lot
But
of downtime.
what little downtime he does have. Let me start off with this. Books. Do you read any books at all?
No books. I'm not a huge reader. No.
Okay. No
Um,
audio books. No nothing.
Yeah, so audiobooks, but nothing specific. I don't, sometimes I'll like if I'm on a flight or something, I'll download either a podcast or a book or something, but
Yeah.
nothing like that. I don't fill my head like that. If it's usually a motorcycle or stuff or racing,
Yeah.
I try to do that, but to move myself away from it, I have to shut myself down, which is funny because the games I play video games and the games that I play, they're not like first person shooters. They are, but they're not like a standard Call of Duty game where you just mindlessly go in there and start shooting shit. That's not what I do. So the game I play is Destiny 2, and it's very intricate, extremely intricate. If you guys don't know what Destiny 2 is, then you got to try it. If you're into like chess and if you could put it together like it's a chess game with a first person shooter. So you've got to be set up the it's kind of like a motorcycle. You got to set the guy up the right way, because if you don't set the guy up the right way, it's not gonna produce the result you want. So it's the same thing like a bike. You don't set the bike up the same way. So it's very similar but different. But it's
That's
similar
awesome.
mentality.
Yeah, that's good, man. So, what is there any other games you play just besides Destiny?
No, so I'll jump on Formula One or Forza 7. I have a sim car that it's actually, it
Nice.
sits where I'm sitting now. It's in my cat room right now, but it usually sits here, and then I'll hook it up and then I'll race that. And it's not the same as obviously being on a track, but it'll still get you by the time you're done doing a full 24-hour race. Because there you can do a whole 24-hour race, and I have done that in my house, and it's brutal.
I bet it
So
is.
it's brutal. So just to see if I can get how far I could actually drive, and you can't. You got to get up and you got to go get to the bathroom. You got to, so the breaks are taken, but you do it. You end up It's a workout because the wheel that I have is a brushless motor, so it'll pull you up out of the seat if you turn the pressure up on it. It'll lift you. So it's a workout working, because you need to feel what the car is doing, and it gives you a pretty good idea of what's happening on the screen. A lot of people are kind of laughing right now because it's a sim car, but you still feel it, and it's still a lot of work. So when it gets hot, because your body's moving, you're constantly moving. So if anything in motion is creating energy and heat. So
Nice.
yeah, you're sweating your balls off. So
yeah, that's 101 right there, right? Yeah. But dude,
So-
that's awesome. So I never really got. Well, my cousin has a simulator, but I never really put a whole lot of time into it. Something that I would love to get a hold of too.
It's fun.
And get a simulator and get on that.
You race all the tracks that these guys are on, except for the newer ones. But Coda's out there, Road Atlanta's in there, Laguna's in there.
What's your favorite track to race on the simulator?
On the simulator,
Yeah.
I would have to say, I'd have to say the Nürburgring.
Dude, what a proper place, dude. The Nuremberg. Listen, it has everything.
Oh,
Long, high speed. When I
there's
mean
a lot of
high
headaches.
speed, it is,
There's a
dude. It
lot of
is.
headaches. A
It's
lot of headaches in that track.
it is.
So
No runoff, no
I've destroyed so
room.
many fake cars in that track. It's not even funny.
Right? Yeah, I done died like 5 billion times,
Yeah.
110%. It's
Yeah.
it's just like playing the TT because I like playing
Yes.
the TT too, man. It's like, yeah,
Ah,
what a game, man.
yeah.
What
Big time.
yeah. So I play video games, man. I play let's say I'm playing that new Assassin's Creed because I love Assassin's
Yeah.
Creed. I always
My
liked
daughter bought me
Assassin's
that
Creed.
last
Yeah.
year. Yeah, my daughter bought the Valhalla one, and it's so detailed. It's
It
like
is. It's
I
good
got
though.
to pick and choose either I'm going to
I
do that
know,
or I'm going
I
to do
know.
that.
It takes a lot of time. It does.
Yeah.
See, I've been playing that. I've been playing, of course, everybody knows I'm a big soccer fan, right? The real
Right.
football, I'll say. So man, I play that. Yeah, of course, Call of Duty. Man, I ain't bought no new Call of Duty games
Yeah.
in a long
Call of
time
Duty.
because they're
Yeah.
just the same old,
Same
that's
old, same old.
same old
Same old,
shit,
same
right?
old.
And then
I was pretty good at it back in the
I
day.
was too. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie.
I think
Yeah.
I was 5,000 something in the world for search and destroy.
Oh no, see, I wasn't nowhere near on your
Yeah,
level,
and then
bro.
I think I was 40 thousandths in domination, and then I really sucked in team deathmatch. I
Yeah,
just couldn't play that.
yeah, it sucked because
It-
everybody was with
well,
themselves.
yeah, there's
It
no
wasn't a
objective.
team. It was
I
no
gotta have an
objective.
objective.
Yeah, me too. It's
I
like,
gotta have an
yeah.
objective. So
And the Ride 4, I love Ride 4, man.
now I haven't played that. How is
Dude,
it? Because
dude.
I think I Ride 2, I think, is the one I tried to play, and I'm like, I
Oh,
can't.
dude, it's good. I
Can't
love
do
it. It's to me, it's like Gran Turismo, but for motorcycles,
Right. Okay.
right?
Yeah.
So you
Right.
got all the setup. You can put rims and upgrade your brakes and suspension and
Right.
pipes and
Yeah.
yeah, it's technical, man. You can do the setup, sag, you do all that shit, hot,
Right.
soft to hard, blah blah
Right.
blah blah blah. Which is good. Engine braking, traction control,
Yes.
yada yada yada. It's listen, I'm a big fan of them, and it teaches everybody a lot of the electronics and actually what they do. But I could see it being too much for somebody just getting into it because there's so much shit you could do, right? So it's a
Right.
little intimidating, right, for
Yes.
your average player. But yeah, man. Okay, so favorite movie.
Die Hard.
Dude, Die Hard's this shit, bro. I ain't heard
First,
Die Hard in a long time. That's
Die Hard.
good.
Your age is going to start coming out in some of these questions now.
Dude, that's good. He said Die Hard.
Yeah,
That's
Die
okay.
Hard.
Well, let me ask you this, Dustin. If they made a movie on Dustin, what famous character would play you in the movie?
Hmm. I would have to say Daniel Craig.
Daniel Craig, dude, what an actor, bro.
Yep.
Dude,
Big
Daniel
time.
Craig's awesome, man.
Yep.
He's good, dude. He's been in a lot of movies. What's that one with him in New York? Him and freaking Leonardo. Kings of New York. Was it Kings of New York?
Yeah, no, that was
No, that was different. You
yeah,
know what I'm
that's
talking
old.
about, that
That's
movie.
the 80s. Kings of New York's in the
Yes.
80s, man.
Yeah. I didn't mean that one, man. Well, it's still a while ago, but you know
Yeah.
what movie I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That was a good movie, man.
Yep. The other good one with Leonardo was The Departed. The Departed was good.
Oh, dude, The Departed was good. You too, Diane. I appreciate
Yes,
you. I
Diane,
love you,
thank
girl,
you.
for sure. Nothing
Yes.
but love. I always call her the queen because that's exactly what
Oh,
she is,
yeah.
besides my wife.
Yeah, she's been around for a while. She's been in that Weir
she's
paddock for a long time.
I know
She's
she has.
been in racing
I
for a
know.
long time.
Yes,
Yep.
she has. Yeah, man.
Yep.
So, yeah, Die Hard, man. It's yeah. Yeah. So, Catch Me If You Can. That was always one of my favorites of Leonardo.
Catch Me Again. That's with
dude. That was
Hanks.
such a
That was Tom Hanks and Leonardo.
Leonardo, right? Where he's a dentist and an airline pilot and blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah. That's good, man. It's good shit, dude. I was like, dude, how awesome is that?
That's a true
right?
story.
That's good. I know it is. That's what makes it
That's
so
crazy,
interesting, right?
Frank Abernathy, I think, was his name, right?
Abigail.
Yeah, that's right.
Something
Frank
like
Abagnale.
that. Yeah, Abigail. Something like
He
that.
worked for the
Yeah, that was
FBI.
cool,
I think
man.
he still does, or is retired. One of the two.
I think he does still work for the FBI, man. How cool is that, right? You
That is
done
neat.
ripped off
From a
all
criminal
this
to-
money, right? To hey man, you want a job? You're like, yeah, okay,
That's what
yeah. It
happened.
worked out real good, right? One of the only cases you probably ever hear of in your life that where it worked out, right?
Right.
That's yeah. Okay, so celebrity crush. Who's Dustin's biggest celebrity crush?
I really don't look at celebrities as that. I don't look at chicks on screen like that. I don't know. everybody usually picks. I don't remember her name. Say I don't know her. I don't know their names.
Okay. We'll move on from that, right? So
Yeah.
listen. Do you have any cool conspiracies, or are you in like a
Oh man,
conspiracy
how
theorist?
much time you got now? Are you talking about
Listen, I
conspiracy?
love it. Here we go. Yes, here we go. Right?
How much
Yeah,
time
that's
you got?
awesome.
How much time you got? You know,
So,
9/11 was us. You know, all that stuff. You can go all down in line, down that
listen,
line. So,
I do, Dustin.
we
I'm
can
with
dive
you.
right
It's
in.
funny. Right in. Let's jump in head first. So my homeboy BT, man, big shout out to him that I was supposed to have on yesterday. B, nah, I'm playing with you. We're rescheduling, but he's a big conspiracy theorist too, man.
It's funny how a lot of those
yeah.
conspiracies are true, aren't they?
Listen, it's
It's scary.
so
It's scary.
everybody, I know everybody's listening. This is all that racket you hear. This guy right here. See, if I don't touch him, this is what he does. If I go like this, he's good. But as soon as I look at it, he's looking too because he knows.
He knows he's
As
in
soon
trouble.
as I stop, oh my God, it's just blah blah blah. But yes, I am, dude. So what about all the stuff with the aliens coming out, right? Where the government's like, oh, aliens are real.
Yeah,
we
I
have
have
them.
I have a different take on that. My foundation is Christianity, so I honestly believe that people who think their aliens are real, yeah, I would have to say they need to look into the spiritual side of things before they go to off world. So
Okay.
a lot of that stuff is demonic. So you kind of
Yeah.
look at that stuff how you want, but that's how I view that stuff when they start talking
Nah,
about it. Or
man, that's good.
somebody
Yeah.
sees it. Oh, this thing's flying in the sky. It's like, yeah.
Yeah.
If it's actually a hard item, I would say that's probably something that we made.
Yeah.
You know, the
Could
government
be. Could very
you
well
know,
be, right?
I say we're probably we're 10 years behind what our government actually has access to that they've created. So
Yeah.
a
If
lot, of
not
course,
more.
if you were to fly our current planes back in the 50s and 40s, what do you think they would think it is?
Oh, aliens.
Aliens.
Look at the saucer.
So
Look at this.
what
Whatever it
what have
is.
they
Right. Yeah.
created that we think is right? So when they're talking about they're seeing stuff and seeing creatures, I would say that they're seeing more of the spiritual side, demonic activity, in my view, in my opinion.
No,
So,
that's
yeah.
dude. That's awesome, dude. Yeah, dude. That's good stuff, man. So,
Yep.
so I love like Egyptian. I like Egyptian mythology too. Like I'm
Yep.
interested in that because I always thought it was cool. And Spartans,
Yep.
I'm real big into the Spartans, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, Sparta, you know, all
What
that.
is your
But
profession? Right. Yeah.
what is your profession? Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. So, dude, going back, it's funny you said 9/11, dude, because I agree with you, Dustin. There's no way a plane's gonna hit the top of the building and then it just like crumbled down. Come on,
It fall
dude.
into
That's
its
where
own
common
footprint.
sense come
Come
in.
on.
Yeah, common
Come
sense,
on.
people. Come on, man. Let's
Come
go. You
on.
know, it's like.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's a whole lot of other conspiracies because B he talks about that on one of his other
Mhm.
podcasts, and I crack up laughing every time I hear it, man, because it's conspiracy theories. You're right, a lot of them do come true, a lot of them haven't been proven. Some are fake, some are
Yeah.
real. It's just like anything,
Right.
right? So
Yeah. It's just like anything. Still got to go
man.
down those. You still got to go down those avenues. If they're unanswered questions.
Listen, blue pill or red pill, which one you want
Right.
to take, right?
Right.
It's like follow the white rabbit. How far down the hole you want to go, man? It's
Exactly.
that's where it goes to, right? Yeah,
Man.
yeah, man. It's it's a lot. So listen, favorite vacation place.
Actually, that would actually have to be my hometown, where my brothers are at. My brothers are down there. My friends are down there. My best friend Doug, he's living in the Keys. He's living a life. You want to know about somebody living a life? That dude's living a life, homie.
Big
He's
shout
right
out
there in
to
the Keys.
Doug, man.
Oh,
yeah. We're coming to stay with you, Doug.
Yeah, and he'll welcome you right on down there. He's that type of guy. Awesome. So yeah, so I would say Boynton Beach, Florida is where I was born. So that's gonna be my favorite. I live in North Alabama now, so it's a far cry from there. Like, you know, my dad he moved up 10 years ago. He still can't get used to the cold. Hates the cold. Hates it. He's out there now, and it's warm enough now. But this morning he showed up like he was going.
The Michelin Man.
Oh yeah,
the Michelin Man.
It's cold out here. It's cold out here. And I'm like, dude, I'm in a short sleeve shirt and pants.
Me too.
I'm
in shorts.
I'm
in
good.
shorts.
Let's go.
Yeah, I'm good.
But it's too cold.
I do a lot of ice baths, man. So I like the cold therapy. So cold, like my wife will yell at me because we'll if and when we do get snow. The last time I got it, I'm out there and just shorts on, no shirt, no socks, and walking around, laying down, making snow angels. And all. It's like you're a fucking idiot, right?
Yeah.
I mean, let's just be honest, right? Like, what the hell is wrong with you? Are you on drugs? And if so, what drugs are you on? Because you're retarded.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good stuff, man. Yeah, man. So, favorite Netflix series.
Oh man! All right, this list is going to be big. So you have, see, Netflix. I get them. I kind of get them twisted because I have so many, and I've seen just about every one on every single one.
Nice.
So, but for Netflix, Altered Carbon, if you haven't seen that,
Good,
Altered,
ain't it?
Altered Carbon is good.
Yes. Yes.
And of course, you have all the serial killer stuff that's on there. Don't mess with cats. That's on there. If you haven't seen Don't Mess with Cats,
bro, dude, listen, I tell everybody right now, I'm like, dude, you need to go to Netflix and watch Don't Fuck with Cats. And they're like, what is that? And I'm like, listen, it'll blow your mind. You need to
blow
go
your
watch
mind.
it.
Absolutely blow your mind. And if you don't have an easy stomach, don't watch it. If you don't sleep well watching stuff, don't watch that show. Yeah, because it'll mess you up.
Oh my god, it's such a good.
But it's true. It's really took place. So those shows like that on Prime, The Expanse. If you haven't seen The Expanse, it's six seasons long. Starts off the first season kind of like, because it's budgeted low, so you can kind of see that it's budgeted low. But everything they did in that show, even from the beginning, they actually called NASA and talked with NASA how, because it's out in outer space how they're doing it, and they asked NASA how things would actually work. If we did this, what would actually take place? If we did this, how would that happen? If this crashed, what would it look like? And so they took all their engineers and all that stuff into account. So when they made that show, it's so realistic. It's insane. Like you can see they went away from it a little bit on some things, but it's still
it's TV,
amazing,
right? All TV.
Oh yeah, it's
on
so
docuseries that are real. They add their own little.
Yes.
So talking about NASA real quick, do you think we landed on the moon?
I believe that we did. Yes. Yeah. I do.
Do you think the Earth is flat?
Negative. The Earth is
right.
The Earth is definitely egg shaped, kind of like it's not perfectly round. It's a oblong, weird looking mass.
Yeah. I just had to ask because speaking of space, it's one of those conspiracy things. People are always like, "Oh, you don't think the Earth's flat?" I'm like, no, dude, the Earth ain't fucking flat.
Are you crazy
me right now? What are you on? Dude?
What are you
really?
On? Yeah,
right. Whatever it is, it's like.
Not good.
Listen, Faith said, "Son,
no moon landing."
Yes, Faith. What is up? I love it.
She doesn't think we landed. I do think we landed. I do think we were there.
Yes, Faith. I love it. Listen, you guys are cracking me up. Good, Leia. Yeah, that's the whole point of the podcast too, right?
That's what it's all about.
And listen,
fun.
Dude, talking about our same love of the sport and having fun with it, man. It's being different. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's funny. She said no moon landing. I love it.
Well, they've since actually zoomed in and saw. You can see where they've actually, and of course they could superimpose anything, but there have been some privateer telescopes have actually, we lied to you.
That's awesome. That's why I'm laughing. I love it. I love you, Faith. You're awesome. Good stuff.
So, but there's been some privateer telescopes that have seen the actual landing spots. You can see where the rover's still sitting. All that stuff is still there. Yeah. So unless they've just made up a picture, which is possible, but my belief is I think we made it. I think we made it there. Yeah.
Look, she said heart emoji for real. And then Leia says, "I believe in the moon landing."
Yeah.
It's good stuff, man. Good stuff. Yes. Yeah, man. Dude, where were we? Netflix series, right? You said
man, I almost had to pull it up because there's so many. I have so many.
We Shall
Talk was one. We Shall Talk. I'll have to show her the stuff now so she can see, because this is recent that I've seen things for within the last couple months. I never really brought it up. I call her every day on my way home and talk to her. So we talk all sorts of crazy stuff on the way home.
That's good stuff.
Netflix series that I've seen, man. There's so
Breaking
many.
Bad's one of my favorite ones.
I didn't watch Breaking Bad. I never watched The Walking
Dead,
is what I call it. I couldn't take. First time I saw them shoot a gun, I was done. It was just the barrel and the flash was way out here. It's like no.
Well, that also started out real low budget, right? But as they got into, but I used to be a big fan of Walking Dead till about I think season 4 maybe or 5. Man, it just got monotonous. It's like it's just the same old. But Breaking Bad, dude, trust me. And Peaky Blinders,
Peaky Blinders is good. Now, I
Dude.
like the main character in that. I've only seen 2
Yes.
episodes of that, but the main character in that, he's the guy who played Scarecrow in Batman.
Yes, Scarecrow and Batman. That's exactly. I can never remember his name. Peter Marsh. Yes, Sons of Anarchy. What another good one.
I never really watched that one. Sons of Anarchy is good. My younger brother loves that show. Yeah,
Man, it's a great show. But dude, the thing, I'm not giving nothing away, man. I hated the way it ended, though.
Yeah.
But that's just. And Dexter was another good one.
Dexter was good.
Yeah, the serial killer Dexter. The mind. Yeah, he was also a detective.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like cheesy shit like that, man. For real. And docuseries, I'm always watching the murder docuseries and
all the Untolds.
All the Untolds, dude, they're good, dude. Dusty,
I do not like talking about football. Nope, she knows that already.
Wendy, no football talk now. Unless we're talking about soccer, yeah, for sure. We'll talk about soccer.
I'm not even
a
soccer guy. I just don't. I don't talk about sports that have to do with balls.
Yeah, right.
Unless it truly takes him to play them, So
no, it does. Right. No, absolutely. I agree.
Yeah.
He said, "Walking Dead lost me episode 2 when Daryl's brother cut his hand off instead of the old rusty pipe." Yeah, I mean, it's all fantasy. The hand, yeah, it's all fantasy. But it started out kind of cheesy, but it hooked me. Something about it just kind of hooked me, and I stayed with it. Like I said, for a couple seasons. Then it kind of just like that.
I think a lot of it for me was it just got to the point where everybody was talking about it that I just nope. It turned
turned you off.
Yeah. Too much.
Like,
too much.
Yeah, too much. Yeah.
Too much.
I feel so. Star Wars or Star Trek?
Star Wars and Star Trek.
I'm not a Star Trek guy.
But Star Wars over Star Trek.
Yeah, okay, I got you. Man, I try. So my brother, he's Star Trek. I'm Star Wars, and man, I try to get into it, and it's okay. It just I don't know.
Well, it depends on which one you started watching. We were as kids. We were watching. My dad loved Star Trek, so we watched it as the one with William Shatner as Captain Kirk. So we watched that as kids, and that was also the thing that I watched right before the American flag came on and they sang the national anthem before they shut. Because that's what I did. I stayed up way late, So
we all did, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. So, but
now we stay up late. It's like, ugh. You wake up the next day, you're like, are you kidding me right now?
Yeah, I don't want to go to work. Don't want to move. I gotta move.
What's move?
Hey, girl.
Hi, Rossi. Say hi.
Hey.
He had his flu shot yesterday. He went and had a flu shot. He got up this morning. He's like, man, I just feel lazy today. I was like, that's cool, man. Just go and
you
chill,
do the flu
man.
shot, huh?
I don't take the flu shot at all. I'm all not. I didn't take I didn't do any of that, man. I'm all natural, baby. If it's gonna get me, it's gonna get me. If not, bump it.
Yeah, no thank you.
Right?
Yeah, there's a lot of unanswered questions in those things.
Again, the conspiracy comes out. Me and Dustin, y'all heard it first on Pin the Gas. Yeah. Dude, listen, we need to do a whole conspiracy thing. I think me and you a podcast. We need to start our own little side podcast.
Yeah. Well, there's one actually. A buddy of mine who does one is Dark Fringe Radio. That's what he does.
Really?
Look him up on. It's on. I think I forget. My sister will probably put it on here. She's watching.
Is he on Spotify?
Dark Fringe Radio. Like he's. Huh? We'll say that again.
Is he on Spotify? Is he on Spotify?
I don't know if he's on Spotify now or not. Man, what is it? Just a podcast. You go on your phone and it shows the podcast.
Yeah.
This one here. So that podcast. That's his podcast. Dark Fringe Radio.
I'm looking it up right now.
Yep.
Dark
William Martinez.
Radio.
Yeah. He's got a bunch of stuff on there. Him and Jay, they grew up together as kids.
I'm following them.
Yeah, they'd always talk conspiracy stuff as kids, and they're into their adulthood, so they started doing this podcast. It's pretty good. He does pretty good.
Dude, that's awesome. I'm gonna check it out. Yeah, absolutely. I went to Spotify and followed them. So I'll definitely give him a listen because everybody knows I'm a dude. So I just never thought that I'd be a podcaster myself, but I listen to
who does right until it happens.
Right. It just I don't know. Everything happens for a reason. I think. Right.
Right.
It's just it is what it is, man. Dude, bro, we've been an hour and 18 minutes. It only feels like we've been talking for 30. That's how it always go, bro.
It always goes this way. Yeah. If you
It's
keep on keeping
it
on, we
goes
just
by
keep
so
on going.
quick. We can just keep on going. Let's definitely do a part 2 to this.
Right on, we
I
will.
know you're
Yeah, I'd like to have
busy.
Jules on here, man. I was looking forward to talking with him too.
I
He
know,
brings that he
Jules.
brings another element to it that I think is pretty neat. Like he's
He
a good cat,
does.
you know. Yeah.
I
Yep.
love Jules
So
to death, man. I
yeah.
really
Yeah.
do. I don't know if he's listening. He said he might get a chance to chime in. He had to do something for, I guess, uh, he's getting a new job. So something
Right
he had
on.
to do. You look naked with no fancy bow tie today. I know it's
Yeah.
not race day.
Yeah.
yeah.
I do. I usually, and they're actually all sitting in that chair over there, waiting to. I'm putting together. I don't know if Ty's watching or not, but as part of his Christmas present, I'm kind of putting all the ties together, and I'm putting it in a thing and then send it to him. So it's pretty neat.
Oh,
So
that's
last year I
cool,
just gave
man.
them all
Yeah.
the last year ties. So so everybody knows. Friday I wear the same exact tie. Whatever I decide for the year, that's the tie that I'll wear every Friday. Then Saturday, Sunday, for the last 2 years, every Saturday, Sunday, it's been a different tie every Saturday and a different tie every Sunday. Running out of ties. I tried to get someone to make ties for me. Try to get a sponsorship for ties. Like, come on, somebody's got to give me something. Like, let's go. But nobody wants to
Right.
do it. So I've got to come up. I got to be more. I just got to figure out a different way to do the ties because they're running out of which ties to buy because they don't do a lot of the funny ties. Otherwise they'll just be
Yeah.
one color, one color, one color, one color, one color.
Yeah. Then be
I try to make it
bland,
different,
right?
and each tie means something. So for the last 2 years, every tie meant something for that weekend. So I'd have to go back through all my ties to tell you what each one meant for the weekend, what the focus was for the weekend. So it's pretty
That's
good.
awesome.
Like the time that I figured Josh Hayes was going to get his big win, which was that
His
weekend.
85th or whatever it was.
Right.
Yeah.
So the very next day, I wore the Jolly Roger as a bow tie, and then Ty beat Josh.
Ty
So
beat Josh. Yeah, he
this
did.
is your
Yeah.
focus. This is your focus. This is the guy you got to beat. You need to beat this guy. So that's
Yeah,
your
that's
focus. Go beat
awesome.
him. So it ended up
Jolly
happening, taking
Rancher.
place, and that's the tire there that he beat him with. I don't know if you can see it, but that's the tire, the rear that
Nope.
did it. So
That's
and then
awesome.
that was the Coda tire behind me on the clock. That's the Coda tire. So is where he
It's
beat
good
Forrest.
stuff,
So it's
man.
good. Yeah.
Beat for yeah, man. Yeah, dude. So
Yeah.
there's a lot happening in Moto America this year too, right? There's a
Yes.
lot of
A
seats
lot of.
changing, new teams coming in. Tyler
Yep.
BMW out, right?
Yep.
So
Yeah,
which is
it's gonna
sad.
be a
So it's gonna be
big paddock.
different.
It's gonna be a very busy paddock this year coming
Yeah.
up. You know, you got 2 more Ducatis coming into play for the Ray Hall Racing. So that's gonna be 2 more of those machines that we're gonna have to battle against. But Ty will have them covered, I believe. So I don't know who the wild card will be for the Ferracci Ducati. I don't know who that is going to be. That could be a
Yeah, I
wild
don't
card,
either.
you know.
It could
So
be.
there's a lot of young and up and coming talent that's going to be in the paddock in the super sport this year. So it's really going to be a battle, I think, this year. So we're going to have our A game coming, but hopefully everybody else doesn't. Y'all leave that shit at home. Y'all leave that shit at home and come in with your B game so we can come with our A and we'll make it easy year for
And we'll be good. Yeah, we'll be good. Yeah, dinner's on me, right? Yeah.
Right.
That's
that would be good.
awesome.
That would be good.
What made you decide on this path? The dark side.
Yeah, the dark side. Well,
dark side.
It really just molded into it. Once I realized I can make some money at it, that was enough to get me by. I just stuck with it, you know, and I didn't think it would ever really grow to what it grew to be honest with you. I figured I was going to get back into doing the construction or working at some other corporate job. I mean, I currently have a corporate job, and it is corporate. And it's not like a race team. It is a corporate. My primary job is corporate. So, but it's still doing the stuff I
what we love to do. Yes.
So
lucky.
it does make it a lot easier to deal with the corporate side of things, you know, because
Right.
the corporate side of stuff is very stressful and it weighs on you because you have to get all this other stuff done as well as your job, which is similar to racing, but it's different. You know, Chris creates a really cool atmosphere in the team and on the paddock. you're there to do your job, do your damn job, just do your damn job. And that's all he really says is do your fucking job. If you do your
That's
fucking
it.
job, we're not going to have any problems. So that's all I do. I don't have any problems. I don't have any issues. Now there are things pop up here and there, but that's with anybody in any situation. So, but that was it. Once I realized I had some type of talent and I picked up what needed to get done, I picked up on it pretty quick. I went down that path. Now I wish I would have had more of a on site for actually riding, because I ride pretty good too. I haven't, the last time I've been on a track is 20 years, but when I was on a track, I was pretty good. I would say as an amateur, I would be top 3 in CCS
Very
back
nice.
then. Yeah,
Yeah.
as an amateur, I think I would have been right there. Not to bullshit myself or lie,
Right.
but that would be where I believe I would be, and then grow from there.
Yeah.
Now I. You get old, man. You don't have that. I still have the mentality and the balls to do some of the stuff
Me
that I
too.
can do.
Me too.
But
now I want to do it on a Honda Grom.
Yeah, correct. That's exactly right.
Right. Now I want to do it. Yeah.
So
now I want to do it on.
Dude, I cannot wait, because that's exactly what we're gonna do. Taylor's like, he tells me all the time. He's like, dude, why don't you just get one of those Groms and you can come to races with me and you can do these little Grom races? Like,
dude.
Yeah, it's money though. It's money.
Yeah,
because I look at everything like it's money.
I know, but it is.
It's so expensive. It's like expensive to do it. And of course, people are right. You got to not worry about that and get into it and do it, and then let it all shake out in the end, because you never know what you get. Now at this age, you can't really do that. But at a younger age, I wish I had that thought. Go, if you're not going to do it later on, you need to do it now. Get into it now. Dive into it now, because there is no later. So if you're thinking about getting into racing bikes and you're at a younger age, don't think about it. Just do it, because you'll be able to pan everything out and shake everything out in the end and smooth everything over as the older you get. So get in it now, get going now, and see where you stand now, so you don't think about it later on. Man, I wish I could have. Wish I'd have done that. Should have done this. You don't want that. So get into it. Get into it early. Get into it, but you got to do it 100%. Otherwise, don't do it.
Yep, I agree 110%. Yep. And speaking of that, so if anybody's interested in getting into it, learning how to ride or be on the track, Michael Carrera, SFL Mini GP out there in Florida. Yes. He has one of the best organizations around in the whole United States.
Yep,
he's already got a champion coming out of there, Avery, the lap slayer, my man Dreyer. So yeah, guys, if anybody's listening to this or listen to the future, if you don't know how to get in touch with them, just call me, text me, Facebook message, or whatever, and I'll put you on the right path. But anyway, Dustin, bro, we're an hour and 30 minutes into this, man. I'm gonna go ahead and cut this off here in a minute, because I have another one. So stay tuned. I have another podcast too one day. I'm super excited about. Good and stuff. People don't know, I ain't said this yet, but I have a special co-host on this one. And even the guests don't even know. I'm not going to spoil it, but yeah, you guys will have to stay tuned in and find out, right?
Definitely stay tuned in, because it'll be a trip.
It will. So listen, Dustin, dude, is there anything you want to say to anybody where they could find you? M4, Tyler Scott, any of that?
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously, I'd like to thank M4 XR Suzuki and Chris Ulrich, John Ulrich, and the whole crew. Frank Aragaki is the one who recommended me to Chris. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Frank Aragaki and Taylor Knapp. So it's really all the stuff you're seeing is from them pushing me to do it and to get into here and keep going. So, because I wasn't sure I'd make it back into pro paddock. It was definitely a thought in my mind, like, can I really still do this? I don't know. I do it every day for work, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to have the ability to do it anymore at this age. And I proved myself wrong. And so this year I just kept going. So next year I'm going to keep on going, go until I can't do it anymore, I guess. So I'll be here till I die.
I love it. Me too. Right. Yeah.
Yep.
Me too. Well, anyway, yeah. So listen, what an honor. Thank you so much, Dustin, for having on. I can't wait for the next one.
Always.
Yes, dude. You've been a big supporter, man. And dude, it means everything to me. And I'll tell you that, we'll comment, we text each other, and I always tell you
yeah, man. You too.
Absolutely.
You guys are climbing the chain. Just keep going. You and Jules will get there. It'll be big. It's gonna be big.
Yeah.
It's gonna
I
be fun.
appreciate it, man.
Yeah, man.
Thank you so much. And again, thank you for everybody that watches and
Yes.
supports. I know I don't say it all the time, but dude, we need the help too, right? So
Yes.
go to Spotify,
Yes.
go to iHeart,
Yes.
Facebook, YouTube, hit the like button, subscribe, all that good stuff.
Right.
Leave us feedback, good or bad, whatever. I still love you, even if you have a complaint, but that's how we grow and we
That's
learn,
how. Yeah,
right?
no such
That's
thing as bad publicity.
it is not. So yes, listen, if anybody is interested in a hat or a t-shirt, reach out to me because
Yes.
we do have those for sale. And I do, again, Peter Marsh, my man Jake Marsh, thank you so much for all the love and
Yes.
support. My
Awesome.
man Martin from the Clothing Kings, the guy that's making the shirts and all the hats. Big shit out to him. He makes some of the best clothes that I've come across that I personally bought. So yeah, it's amazing. But again, thank you everybody. I appreciate it. And I will see you guys here at 6 p.m. Eastern time for the next one. Until
Awesome.
then, see you guys.
See ya.